Hello everyone, we are here with another podcast. Here we have two amazing people. One is former captain Amrut, who is a team captain of NITK Racing combustion vehicle. And also here we have a former technical head too, Kevin, who is the technical head of the same NITK Racing combustion vehicle. Hi guys.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, thank you for coming for this podcast. You all know that Formula Student is an organization where all the teams comes from different colleges and different universities to take part in this unique competition of racing or endurance, etc. So, can you tell me, Amrut, can you tell me what is a Formula Student and how can it help us, and also how this Formula Student helps us in project management?
So first of all, welcome everyone to the podcast. So as Ajay already pointed out, the Formula we at NITK Racing attend Formula Student events. So the whole concept of Formula Student events is that there are around 60 teams who come prepared with the Formula Student car, and there are a number of static and dynamic events at the event stage. And prior to that, there are also many document submissions and reports which you have to make to validate your design. So, Formula Student is basically a design challenge and a project management challenge. So, you get all the experience you need as an engineer from start to end. So, this is really a great initiative put forth by the Formula Student community to help the students currently pursuing engineering for them to become better engineers when they come out of college. If needed, Kevin can add something.
If I may add something to that, technically Formula Student, it's one competition held once per year. It's in Coimbatore for the Formula Bharat. And the thing about the competition is you have to work an entire year for that one competition held once a year. The static and dynamic events that Amrut mentioned, they take place at the event location, but there are a lot of submissions of different documents that detail out your design, as he mentioned, and that has to be done over the year, over the entire course of the year. So you have to submit your, let's say, structural equivalency spreadsheet. That's one of the documents, or FMEA, which is failure modes and effect analysis document, which has to be submitted a few months prior to the competition. And essentially it is a project management competition where the product that you're working towards is a Formula style race car which students have to build. So it's not just about the technical skills, it's not just about the know-how of how to go about it, it's also about the planning, efficient use of people, time and money, and ensuring that the project comes together and you have a product to show at the end of the year at the competition and perform with it.
As we all know that you were actually in an Formula Student team, right? That is NITK Racing, that is combustion vehicle. And could you tell more about your past experiences, and could you tell more about your previous competitions where you actually participated?
Yeah, so I'll just start off with the history of the team. So as of my 4 years of engineering, I've been here for the 3 years. So I started off in my first year, towards the end of my first year, and that was a time when we were building NR17, and that was the car which went to Formula Supra, SI Supra India, which takes place in Delhi, Budh International Circuit, and then after that we skipped half a year, and the next car which we built was NR19, which we took to Formula Bharat 2019, and finally we built the NR20, which we attended Formula Bharat 2020 in the Jan of this year. So this is a brief, the last 3-4 years of the team. Initially the team was founded in 2010. As you might know, there's already a Baja team, NITK Racing team in the college, which deals with all terrain vehicles. Initially our Formula Student team was split from the Baja team and made into a separate unit. And since then we have attended many competitions such as Formula Student Hungary, Formula Student Michigan, Formula Student China, and then FSI, which Formula Student India, which was how it was known previously, and of course SI Supra and Formula Bharat. So the details of how we have done all this you can find in our brochure if anyone's interested. But so our team has a rich history of attending international events and even doing well in many of them. Especially in Michigan, I think we cleared technical inspection on the first go, and we even placed highly in the marketing and business plan events. So we just like to pass on the baton to our juniors and hope they take the team to the next level in the upcoming years. Yeah.
As Amrut said, NITK Racing was split into off-road and on-road basically. It was Baja first, and it was after 2010 it became Baja NITK Racing and NITK Racing. So
Yes.
Can you tell me that why do you want to invest time, money by splitting the team into NITK Racing combustion vehicle and NITK Racing electric vehicle?
Okay, yeah. So first of all, a CV vehicle has an entirely different set of components, set of systems, and set of needs that need to be taken care of when you're designing a CV vehicle as compared to an EV vehicle. The subsystems itself are proof that the requirements for both teams will be quite different. Hence, we wanted to split the team up into two teams, and one working for CV and one working for EV, in order to ensure that there is no confusion and the workload is pretty evenly spread out among all the members of both teams. And if you think about it, an electric vehicle requires much more time, investment, as well as a larger budget, significantly larger budget than a CV vehicle. And since that's the case, you do need two teams to pitch and have an independent identity in order to efficiently, present our team and get the sponsors as well as the money that we need in order to build our vehicle, build our projects in time. Further, if we have two different sets of management, entirely working independently, but yes, together but independently on both teams, it will ensure that both teams flourish under a good management, and both teams are managed pretty well in order to ensure there is no confusion. And since we have two teams, we can independently participate in competitions where the CV vehicle might not be legal, and we can just participate with that EV vehicle while the CV vehicle could be preparing for a different competition. So for that, majorly I believe we have split up the team, even though it does seem additional, like an additional budget and additional, it might cause problems. No, we felt that it would be a good decision to have two separate teams catering to two widely different needs of EV as well as CV.
As we know, the amount of people that we recruited for NITK Racing electric team is really small. And also, right now, Manas is the team captain, and Shashwata is the technical head. Could you tell me why do you want to invest small people, and why do you invest in a small amount of group and also improvise on an electric side?
So, okay, I'll take over this question. So, basically, as I already pointed out, electric vehicle technology is still very new to us, and many people in the team or in the college don't have much experience or insight as to how we design an electric vehicle, how to manufacture one, so on. So, number one point would be we just chose who we felt would be best equipped to handle electric vehicle technology. That was number one. Number two would be to keep the group as concise as possible, so that all the knowledge which is gained is distributed among everyone equally, and everyone is well versed with the electric vehicle technology. so that they can then pass it on to the juniors more effectively. So what happens is you have a large number of people in a group, that will make people just concentrate on smaller parts of each technology and each part of the technology, and then result in not one person knowing everything, and that creates an obstacle when you want to pass on the information to the juniors, who will be then dealing with much higher problems, because if one person doesn't get all the knowledge, again the person has to invest in research and going through papers and going through the internet to find more material to read and so on and so forth. So we thought it would be best suited for us if we keep the group concise, help them gain all the knowledge possible, and then they can transfer it forward in the best way possible. Helps us overcome the communication barrier as well. Yeah.
Back to that, Amrit, knowledge transfer is what keeps teams going. And since we have a long-term goal of getting our EV team up to the mark and getting and hopefully one day completely transitioning to an EV team, since we have that goal in mind, we need to ensure that the knowledge is transferred effectively, and only then can you have the team alive and have a distinct vision towards which we are all working. Because otherwise, in a team, especially made up of college students, where every 3 years or so you have an entire reshufflement in the members, you really need to ensure that whatever you have done, whatever knowledge you have gained or found, or the experiences that you have had, you need to efficiently transfer it across to the next generation that will come up and take your shoes and lead or be a part of the team. And a smaller team, though it does seem like, oh, okay, that's more work per person. No, a smaller team is more effective, in our opinion, in order to accomplish difficult tasks, or because there is less management effort required, as well as there are each person is more involved in every single subsystem or every single part or every single segment of the vehicle, and each person is much more knowledgeable in that particular sense, and hence can pass it on more effectively to a wider audience, and slowly the team can grow over the years. But to begin with, keeping a small team was the way to go.
Okay, as we know that we are actually manufacturing electric vehicle in 2022 basically. So before that, we want to apply for different concept challenge that have been put forward by FS EV, that's basically FS Bharat. Could you elaborate on how this concept challenge is and what concept challenge for this electric vehicle is? Amrit, you can go first.
Okay, so as Ajay already pointed out, our long-term goal or our goal for the FS EV team would be to enter the competition in Formula Bharat 2022 with an actual car. And the Formula Student Electric Vehicle Concept Challenge hosted by Formula Bharat is a great way for us to validate our designs, gain experience and insight on how to go about the design, and also learn more about the different aspects involved in electric vehicle design, such as safety, all the how do you go about procurement electric vehicle parts, which we don't know much about. How do we go about manufacturing electric vehicle parts, which again we are very new to. So everything which we are new to will be benefited majorly by us attending the concept challenge, because that gives us a deadline, that gives us a goal to work towards. And this challenge, which will be held in July, will help us greatly in actually creating a first iteration of our design, getting feedback as to how we have done well or otherwise, and then improve that design, and only then put it into effect. Because as we all know, Formula Student Electric is a resource intensive project, especially when it comes to financial part of it. That's why it would be better if we actually validate our designs before we go into investing huge sums of money into building the actual car. So we feel, as we all know, Formula Student electric vehicles in general need to be more safety. We need to take more precautions and more. We need to have more knowledge in terms of how to deal with Formula Student electric safety. So that is one more important reason why we chose to go into the concept challenge prior to actually manufacturing it and putting it into effect.
As you both told that safety is really the first priority for an electric vehicle, there was an incident in the Germany. Basically, it was an FS team in Germany. They did some really they actually took the accumulator into their room, and there was some short circuit. It led to, like, actually that accumulator become a bomb and it blasted off. So this might be really bad for the team. So that's the reason safety is the main priority for the team. So I guess for the future, basically being green will be really good. So can you tell me that what will be your future plans for the next electric vehicle or NREV, which we are calling now? Kevin, you can go on for the final points.
Well, the incident that you talked about is quite unfortunate, and we do, express our condolences regarding what happened. And as that incident clearly proves, electric vehicles, especially batteries, accumulators, as well as the high voltage that we are encountering, is quite dangerous, and we need to ensure that all the safety concerns are addressed and taken care of, and all procedures are taken care of and followed properly in order to ensure there is a safe and rewarding experience that building the vehicle. The plans for our for NREV that we are calling it our next electric vehicle, which is to be debuting in real life in Formula Bharat 2020. We plan on trying to complete the endurance event, and that is the major event that we are focusing on, because a lot of points are allotted for the endurance event, and we do hope that our great marketing and media team can get us hopefully podium position for the static event and as well as the design presentation. So yeah, that's more or less our plan for the electric vehicle NREV 2022.
Yeah, so as Kevin already mentioned, we need to complete endurance and get podium finishes in all the static events. And as while we were going through our design, or while we are making our design, we also concentrated on the acceleration event, because we feel we will be well equipped to deal with that with our current design. And so all the major points of concerns have already been addressed. So hopefully all the effort put in by Manas, Shashwata and the juniors are given enough respect and dedication by actually building the car by their juniors, and we are hoping for a strong finish at FE 2022, and we hope, and we are almost sure that juniors will do it, because we work with them already, and they're really enthusiastic, and they're hungry to learn. So that's the most important thing I feel, in which every person should have. So we are almost sure that they'll do well, and we just want to wish them all the best, and just like to ask them to keep the NITK name in high standards throughout the course of the team.
Yeah. Thank you guys, as we come to the end of this podcast. So I guess we will have a good year ahead and making and manufacturing a whole electric vehicle or whole electric car in 2022. So I guess we will achieve that goal. And I guess your knowledge transfer or your knowledge transfer programs will be really helpful for us to build and also manufacture this really good vehicle. I guess this will be it now. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ajay. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, it was great talking to you.